Haven't had a fat electrician video in a little bit because the one that I need to do is the fighting preacher, which is actually behind me. I still have not watched that one. We still need to do a react to that one. That one is coming when I have the time to actually just sit down, because that's like an hour and a half, and I need like three. I need a full stream for that video. Let's be honest. We're gonna be pausing a lot during that. But anyways, we're going to watch instead Rabbits versus Farmers, a history of violence. This is Fat Files. And how probably farmers didn't like rabbits for the longest time. They still don't. Rabbits can be pests for farmers depending on your crop. But there's worse out there. Just saying. Just saying. Anyways, let's get into this one. Take away, Nick. Never mind. I still had you muted. Where I unmuted this tab. I swear I did. Okay, take it away, Nick.
Okay, we've been doing nothing but talking about businesses on this channel for months now. We need to get a little bit more unhinged.
I'm regretting every choice now. Because the moment the bad electrician sits there and goes, we need to get a little more unhinged. Yeah, all right. Well, here we go.
Today we're talking about the Great Idaho Bunny Bash, that time in 1981 when a bunch of Idaho farmers were having their crops eaten by jackrabbits, and they came to the very logical conclusion that the only way to handle this was to grab a bunch of baseball bats and treat it like it was the opening scene to the Gangs of New York. Okay, and just so we're clear, this is not the first time this has happened. This is just the last time that this happened, okay? Farmers and jackrabbits have been having turf wars with each other for centuries. And we're gonna get to all of it right after a word from our sponsor.
Okay, that makes sense. They're jackrabbits. Jackrabbits like to fuck everything up. Not to mention, jackrabbits aren't like small. They're not the small, cute, cuddly rabbits everyone thinks of. Jackrabbits are kind of like they can be bigger than the average house cat. They can be like the size of like a medium dog. Like they will fuck shit up. So, yeah. Anyways, let's watch this ad. It's probably a delete me ad.
Delete me. Look at my new carry gun.
Where did you get the new Canic Radiant?
They sent it to me.
No, they sent it to me. That's my new carry gun.
I could have my old one.
What am I supposed to do with this? This video is brought to you by Delete Me, okay? Super simple business model. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. Okay, pretty much anytime anything is free on the internet, but you have to make an account and give them your name and address and email address and all that stuff.
You're
They're
good
basically
at
just
this.
taking all that.
What do you mean I'm good at this? I'm just here. By the way, everyone, if you haven't tried out Delete Me is actually really good. It gets rid of a lot of your information off the internet. I use it. I definitely suggest other people use it because it's really good to get everything off like the base internet. Gets rid of the spam calls and everything like that. A lot of it's been removed. I rarely get spam calls anymore. Most of it is political because I kind of did the fucky wucky and signed up for one, but that's my own volition because I'm supporting Brandon Herrera, even though I don't live in Texas. We won't get into that. Okay. He's like one of the very few people that I can call a politician. I'm like, yeah, I like him. We need more like him. Anyways, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, check out Delete Me. It'll get rid of pretty much everything that you don't want on the internet, minus stuff on the dark web. Because, yeah, dark web's kind of
information, selling it to data brokers, and that's how they're able to offer that service for free. But when you have Delete Me, they monitor all the major data brokers. Whenever they start selling your personal information, they automatically submit the opt-out request for you and have that information taken down, and they give you quarterly reports to let you know how many different listings they've taken down. But then Delete Me still has my information. Yeah, obviously, they kind of have to have the information so they know what information to have taken down. That's just how that works. I mean, your options are really A, you have a bunch of people selling your information to anybody that's got cash, or B, there's one person that has your information and their entire job is to make sure nobody else has it and you're paying them directly. Yeah, I'm taking B, all right, which raises the next question, is Delete Me gonna be able to keep my personal information safe? So I asked them, they said their security certification is a ISO 27001. I had no idea what that meant, so I Googled.
Oh,
with it.
okay, he got
Apparently,
it.
they have like the highest level of security certification that you can get. So yeah, I've been using Delete Me for
Yeah, pretty much that. The ISO 27001 is literally the only thing better than that is certain government contract internet security options. Like specifically CIA level. Like you need you need not top secret, you need super secret levels of authority to access stuff like that. Like it's really fucking good.
years. I was using them before they were paying me to talk about them. I'll probably be using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link in the discount.
Delete me. If I ever get big, please. I use Delete Me, and I will continue using Delete Me until they show otherwise. They've treated me with everything.
Code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, in order to understand the Great Bunny Bash, the first thing
All right, before we go on this. Was nice. Very nice. No, and I respect that. I completely respect that. Kura. Like, I have like my base stuff that I use for Happy. Granted, I need to adjust it so it's a little more. Everyone knows it's still Happy. I mean, everyone knows that it's Happy, but there's people that probably don't. I need to make sure. But like, once I found the style and Happy's happy with it, obviously need to add a couple of things so that ISO 20022 is usually hold on, let me remember my securities. 20022, that's usually like corporate, like good corporate level security systems, stuff like HP, not Dell, but HP, the backend support of Microsoft, the high level like tech companies, they use that one, which is really good. It can be broken into, but it's still hard to break into. It's a really good security. Not the best, but it's also not the worst. The worst is like your computer, which is an ISO. If you're on Windows 11, I think the ISO on that one is ISO 12024. I think is the current. No, 12026 is the current one, which is a good security system, but you can get through it. Anyways, but yeah, no, Kura, I have to state you did amazing on that one. Keep it up. That was phenomenal, especially with all those keyframes that you did.
we got to realize is that we're not actually talking about bunnies, like the cute little Easter bunnies. No, we're not talking about Peter Cottontail. We're talking about jackrabbits.
Ooh.
Okay, you probably thought they were the
Yeah, fucking jackrabbits. No, fuck those shit.
same or similar. They're not. Okay, a jackrabbit is what happens when you take a normal rabbit, you give it a steady diet of steroids, then you get it hopped up on methamphetamines and Viagra and give it an unshakable hatred for agriculture. Your average jackrabbit weighs like 9 pounds and it eats a pound of food a day. All right, I'm gonna say that again, but a little bit slower. It eats 1/9 of its body mass in food every single day. And whatever it decides to eat, it's not just walking up and nibbling on the leaves. No, it picks a plant and then eats the entire plant all the way down to its roots so that it never regrows ever again. Jackrabbits,
which makes jackrabbits fucking annoying because they destroy crops that way. Because they don't like, an normal rabbit will eat a leaf and then the plant can regrow. Doesn't shock the plant and everything. Jackrabbits are eating to the root, which means the root can't. It gets shocked, which means the root can't regrow itself, and the plant can be reproduced. It kills the plant.
multiply and breed so fast that nature literally cannot keep up. Every 10 years, jackrabbits experience a population boom, and it's because a jackrabbit can have anywhere between 3 to 8 offspring every single month. Okay, we've all heard the phrase breed like rabbits. Yeah, jackrabbits look at regular rabbits and are like, those are rookie numbers, watch this shit. They quite literally outbreed their natural predators, and once there's so many jackrabbits that the natural predators can't keep up.
Hold on, spider. Oh no, kill the spider. Kill the spider. Speaking of spiders, I have a dead spider in my shower. I think that one got drowned last time I took a shower and finally washed out, because not the best where my shower is, because it was added in later. And then I had a spider in my sink this morning when I'm getting ready for work. I looked down, I'm like, oh, a spider. Okay, I'll let you be. And then I looked, I'm like, oh, you're brown. Oh, you're bait. Oh, nope. You drowned. You drowned now. You drowned, sir. You don't get to live. Yes, I had a baby brown recluse in my sink. That thing was not living. And by baby, I mean it was like, you guys can't see my fingers, but it was almost 2 inches in body mass, or in body length, not including the legs. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, and jackrabbits, by the way. Yeah, jackrabbits are annoying.
It reaches a critical mass, and then there's just jackrabbits everywhere. And when I say there's jackrabbits everywhere, I'm talking about like millions and millions of jackrabbits. And if that wasn't bad enough, once the predators can't keep up with their population, they're basically unkillable because their preferred environment is a drought. You know, that weather condition that kills or drives away all other forms of life? Yeah, jackrabbits are sitting there like, this is fucking dope, I like this. And then because the drought drives away all the predators or kills off all the predators, the jackrabbits multiply even more, and then there's even more jackrabbits. So not only do they have this like 10-year cyclical population boom, a population boom can also happen if there's a drought. Once they outbreed the natural predators, the only thing that keeps their population in check outside of human intervention is they eat everything in their ecosystem until they starve to death, or a disease happens and they're living in such close proximity because there's so many of them that the disease wipes them out. There's literally accounts from the 1800s during population outbreaks where people said it looked like the ground outside was moving, and wildlife biologists say that during population booms, there can be over 200 jackrabbits per square mile. All of them eating a pound of food a day and reproducing 8 more jackrabbits every 30 days. It's literally a plague.
Houston, we have
That's jackrabbits. Jackrabbits are fucking annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they can be cute. Australian jackrabbits are cute. The really big ones, like the ones that are like the size of a medium dog. Granted, if they kick a person, it can actually break the femur, which is a really hard bone to break, by the way. So you gotta be careful. So they can be really cute, but they're not bunny rabbit cute. Not to mention bunny rabbits can be vicious too. That's a very true statement. Sorry. But yeah, no, jackrabbits can be a pain in the ass, 100%.
a problem.
Because of this, humans have been killing jackrabbits in North America longer than we've had written history. Obviously, Native Americans have been killing jackrabbits forever to use their pelts, to eat them, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But during population booms, they would also have a practice of mass culling so that they could get a bunch of pelts and a bunch of food all at once. The way they would do this is they would get a bunch of the boys together, they would all stand in a big straight line at arm's length, they would grab their tomahawks or their spears or their bow and arrows or whatever, and they would slowly start walking through a field, driving these hundreds and thousands of rabbits one direction, and then slowly circle around until they formed a circle around a massive herd of rabbits, and then just kill all of them. Ken, I know what you're thinking.
Based. Sorry, that's kind of based. I'm not gonna lie. That's how you take care of them.
Why would they kill them that way? Why not just shoot them with a bow and arrow? Okay, well, first of all, there's too many of them. I've only got so many arrows. Second of all, it's a target this big and it runs at 45 miles an hour. This is literally the only
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. They're actually really quick. I forgot about that. Jackrabbits are super quick, so they're rough to hit.
practical way to do it.
You better be quicker than that.
Okay, fast forward to the 1800s. You get westward expansion, people coming over, they're starting farms. What do farmers do? Farmers kill off natural predators, like coyotes. Why? Because they're eating my chickens.
I saw one of my chickens get captured by a coyote, and I watched him hop the fence with a chicken in his mouth. I'm like, God damn, these motherfuckers.
Okay, we can't have that, so the farmers kill off the coyotes. That makes sense. Only problem, guess what the coyotes aren't doing now? Killing off the jackrabbits. Now, the jackrabbit population explodes. And the only thing left to control it is disease or starvation, and starvation isn't gonna happen because now, because there's farmers, there's way more food because the farmers are growing fucking food. So now there's more jackrabbits than there's ever been ever. It's just a plague of jackrabbits. They're absolutely everywhere. And now these millions of jackrabbits are eating all the farmers' crops. They can't have that because then they're not gonna have any crops. So now the farmers gotta kill off all the jackrabbits. It's like that little kid story, you know, the old lady that swallowed the fly and then she swallowed the spider to eat the fly and she swallowed the bird to eat the spider. Sorry. I've been reading my kids too many bedtime stories. Anyways, and it wasn't just the crops, it was also eating all the feed for the cattle and the horses because jackrabbits also eat hay. And when jackrabbits eat hay, they eat it from the bottom where they can reach, and then they eat out the bottom of a giant pile of hay, and then the whole thing can fall over and crush somebody, so that's dangerous. And then once the jackrabbits do get into the hay that they don't eat, they piss and shit all over, so it ruins all of it. So not only are the jackrabbits eating all the crops, they're also potentially starving off all the livestock. If so facto, the rabbits gotta go. So the farmers looked at what the Native Americans did and they were like, okay, that's a pretty good fucking idea. Over time, they refined the process a little bit. They didn't just make a big circle around the rabbits. They'd put up a fence and then basically form a phalanx like the 300 Spartans and then walk them into the fence and then club them all to death.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit.
And from here, it kind of...
You know what? Case. Look at this picture. These are all jackrabbits, by the way. All of them. A lot of them are dead. Some of them are alive, but you can just see them just going in there with billy clubs. These guys are going. They're going places.
Turned into like a community event whenever there was a rabbit drive. Like all the people show up, they bring their wives, their kids, the sons, maybe the daughters help. The wives are off on the sideline getting the picnic ready so everybody can eat after they kill all these rabbits because everybody's tired from swinging a club for an hour straight. And it
We used to be a proper country. We need to bring it back.
just becomes a communal thing. And this is how the jackrabbit population in the western states of the United States of America stayed in check for over 100 years. Like I went back and dug through old newspapers, and pretty much since newspapers have been mainstream or like in common circulation, there's been articles about what is now known as a rabbit drive, aka culling the rabbit population in the western states dating back to the early 1800s. All the articles back then are like one of two things. They were just letting the community know how well the rabbit drive went, and since cameras weren't super common back then, they would literally just draw pictures. Or they were announcing an upcoming rabbit drive to get volunteers to help them get rid of all these fucking rabbits, and you can really tell it was written in like the 1800s because there's just zero fat. There's no filler words, nothing in these ads in the paper. Quote, rabbit drive, Duster, Tuesday. A rabbit drive will be held at the Duster community beginning early Tuesday morning, according to an announcement from that place. The drive will begin at Pete Duke's place.
Meat.
Based. We need to bring those back.
On a bun with nothing. Add ketchup if you want. I couldn't care less.
Literally, just grab your axe handles and show up to Pete's place. We're beating the shit out of rabbits. And this worked for like 100 years. It was just part of life. You're a farmer out on the prairie one day, you look.
She'll read that. I know she's dealing with the spider still. Does not come back, which means the spider's outmaneuvering her.
Look out your window and it looks like the prairie's moving because there's millions of jackrabbits. Then you go look at your crops are gone. So you call up the boys, you grab your axe handles, and you go play whack-a-rabbit. Okay, there's nothing malicious to it. They didn't necessarily enjoy it. It was just straight up, this is what I've got to do to feed my kids. I'm gonna do it. Okay, occasionally was there the one farmer that maybe enjoyed it a little bit too much, like he lost too much of his crop and he's pissed, or he's going through a divorce and needs to let off some steam or something. I don't know, probably. But at the end of the day, what do? I mean, we were killing rabbits. He enjoyed killing the rabbits a little bit too much. Not much you can do about it, you know, just make a mental note. Don't let your kids go over to his house to play with his kids. Like, move on. For the most part, it was just people doing what they had to do to survive. And then the farmers took another thing from the Native Americans, and they didn't just leave a giant pile of dead rabbits. No, they used them as best they possibly could. They skinned them, they used their pelts, they ate them, they fed them to their chickens, they fed them to their hogs. They got every ounce out of that animal that they possibly could. But then in the 1930s, things started to change because there was the biggest jackrabbit population boom ever. And that is because of the Dust Bowl, aka a
Oh god, the Dust Bowl. That's right. Oh my god. Welcome back, hon. I'm guessing the spider was. Oh. That makes more sense why it took you so long. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I figured. You got it, and then it. Yeah, I don't know if you heard. I had a baby, like not full grown one in my sink this morning. It was about 2 inches by length. It was still growing. I'm like, yep, nope, you're gone. So, you're being drowned. You're in my sink. Yeah, Kura, where I live, I deal with brown recluses and black widows. So I don't play with those. I do have jumping spiders, and those I leave. I also have I have a smaller black version, small black version that hangs around. I leave those ones because they take care of the ants. Their hunting is ants primarily, and I have foundation ants that can break in, so they take care of the foundation ants. Hero's been a mod for 66 months. Let's go, Hero. How you doing, by the way? Hopefully you are well. Doing well.
massive drought that lasted for years. And what's the environment that jackrabbits thrive in? A drought. It also kills off the natural predators, so the jackrabbit population just fucking explodes. To give you an idea of how many jackrabbits there were, the Wichita Beacon in 1935 reported an estimated 8 million jackrabbits in 30 counties. Around the same point in time, from another newspaper article I found in 1934, it was estimated that a single jackrabbit would do $10 worth of crop.
I don't abuse. Oh my god. I don't abuse you, Hero. Ignore, yes. Abuse, no. Make me sound like a horrible person. I mean, I am, but that's besides the point. Oh, damn. I know, I fucked up. By the way, before I forget, Hero, and I gotta remember to cut this out. Do you have video footage that I need for Kuro? Or do I just need to use last season's? Because if that's the case, I'll just get it all recorded tonight. You do? Okay, send it. If you have like the new update model, send it. I'll get that recorded and edited and sent to you, and then I'll get King Souls. So I'll get those both. Oh, just need audio. Okay, I'll get those recorded like as soon as I'm done tonight. Or yeah, tonight. I'll cut it early and record both of them because I have stuff. I have everything I want for those. So I'll get those done. Yeah, Ray does kill them. They're not as chemically immune as like Black Widows or some of the other things. Is early Saturday. Okay, cool. I'll be in the stream for that. I can't see how everything goes.
Damage every single year, and that's in 1934 money, which is $250 today.
Oh, Supreme will be doing it. Ooh. Oh boy, Supreme. Gonna have a little fast to it. I love it.
day. So you've got 8 million rabbits in 30 counties, 250 times.
Oh yeah, Happy. You need to. So one of these Sundays, look in the Discord when Hero goes live, and check out EOV. So I have two characters, King Soul, who is the dark brooding, very ominous King Soul, and then Kuro, who is me, who is the Western Samurai, who believes in honor over everything else. And if you fuck with that honor, he's going to kick your head off. Sometimes I get distracted way more than I really should. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I get super distracted and then I'm like, oh shit, nah, fuck, oh. Because I have the mental acuity of like a 5-year-old and go, ooh, shiny. You're good, hon. No, I've been bad. I'm never going to. Hero knows I'm not going to deny that I've been bad about that entire thing, and I try and stay on top of it. I'm always in the stream. Sometimes not always paying attention, but I'm always in the stream. And then I go back and and I've been watching stuff. Also, I'll DM you, Hero, because I don't see it. I didn't see the announcement, so I didn't get into Karma's stream till way later to give her the support for the recap for the PLE. Yeah, I need to start like actually typing and talking in more. I'm just like always like doing 9,000 things and trying to stay on top of everything. I'm hoping that I get better about just stopping and going, okay, here's this. I'm focusing on this. I'm not going to worry about this until I need to do this and do that. We will see. I can't promise anything. I'm not going to promise anything because I'm always going to be like, oh, but I could be doing this and I could be doing this and I could be doing this. No, you haven't. I'm always doing a whole bunch of like, I will be seeing, I do this all the time. I will be seeing in someone's stream, even if like Here's not live, I'll be in someone else's stream. Like I'll talk to them for a second, or I won't say anything. I'll be like blah blah, and I'm like, oh, I need to be doing this, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing this. Let me record this. I'll mute streams and I'll start doing stuff. I need to learn to stop and relax and just hang out with people. I care for you. I don't. Oh my god. Got him on a roll. Now I'm the back. I mean, I am the back. I don't. I'm okay. Listen, I gotta stop. I gotta focus. I do appreciate everything you do, Hero, and I am in there. I just need to be more active, and I know I do, and I'm bad about it, and I'm sorry about that. I truly am. Anyways, let me get back to this because I'm just making myself hate my life when I do the edits on this.
8 million. That's $2 billion worth of crop damage a year, and that's just in one section of one state. And to make things even worse, you know what else is going on during the Dust Bowl? The Great Depression. People are already desperate, aka these rabbits gotta go. But it's not that simple anymore.
And FTR's also causing damages by destroying crops during this time. Let's not forget that fact.
Or because something else happened in the 1930s. In the 1930s is when animal rights became professionalized. This is when you had humane societies and animal rights groups popping up, aka Industrial Revolution has happened. The quality of human life has risen so high that you can now make a living bitching about how other people make a living. Newspapers are now much more prevalent. Radio's now mainstream. Information is traveling so much faster than it ever has in human history. Because of this, people that are completely disassociated from the issue and don't understand the issue are now hearing about the issue, and they're developing very strong opinions and feelings about this issue. And when these
Oh, the modern Quingo. Got it. Sorry.
People that have never seen a jackrabbit hear that farmers are beating jackrabbits to death with axe handles. They're not picturing a jackrabbit, you know, this 9-pound agricultural terrorist running around eating 1/9 of its body weight in crops every single day. No, they're picturing cute little Peter Cottontail and a big mean farmer with an axe going out there like a barbarian. And then they hear that after the farmers kill all the rabbits, they're skinning them and using their skin, and then they eat them, and then they feed all the meat to their hogs and their chickens, and they just absolutely lose their minds because they don't know that chickens are like actually vicious predators, literally the descendants of fucking T-Rexes.
Yeah, chickens eat meat. Like, people forget birds eat meat. Birds are scavengers. They'll eat meat. They go after flesh. So they'll eat dead animals. They'll eat them. They'll eat meat to the muscle down to the bone. Like, they're carnivorous. They're not herbivores. They're carnivores. Yeah, chickens will kill each other for no reason. Kind of like hogs. Hogs are or they're omnivores. Pigs are omnivores. They eat meat and fruits, vegetables. They're omnivores, but they'll eat a person. You feed it to them, they'll eat it. They won't care. Their stomachs can actually handle it. Humans can't handle human meat. Which makes you wonder how oh God, what is that word? What's the word of people eating? They're not the people cannibals. How cannibals? Well, probably a lot of we're used to it, probably. Yeah, cannibalism.
Hey, you
I'm
know
not
what hogs will
surprised.
eat? Literally fucking anything. You know what chickens will eat? Also basically pretty much anything, including other chickens.
Fish! Eat other fish! The marlins and the trout! What's he talking about?
Chickens literally kill other chickens, like to the point that it's a problem.
Wow, Nick just brought that up.
You want to know who understands that problem and genuinely cares about it? Farmers. That's why in 1903, they created chicken glasses and had them patented. Okay, the farmers didn't do this because they thought it was cute. They didn't want their flock to have mad drip so they could flex on all the other chicken farmers. No, they did it because if they don't put the glasses on the chickens, they'll peck each other's eyes out. And then they made the glasses red so that the chickens couldn't see blood, because if one chicken gets hurt and is bleeding, the other chickens will swarm it and kill it. And if another chicken gets hurt during that swarm and that attack, then they'll attack that chicken, and then next thing you know, your entire flock of chickens have murdered themselves in a cage match. But
I'm laughing at that because it's true. It's up HG. No, I will state I had a buddy. I'm gonna call him Z. It's not my mod Z. My old buddy Z. Different Z. Completely different Z. Much darker complexion, but he was the whitest black man I ever knew. His words, not mine. He was, I forgot where he was. It was during the height of bird flu. And he was at a chicken processing plant when they had to remove a ton of chickens that were infected. Yeah, he could never eat chicken ever again. He couldn't, just after, because he actually had to make sure they all died in a chamber. He watched the chicken holocaust. That's the best way to put it. He saw some shit. He's like, I can't eat chicken ever again. After that, I'm like, I don't blame you.
These people don't understand this, nor do they care to try to understand it, so they just get their feelings hurt and get loud about it for no fucking reason. Which is infuriating because the farmers are literally doing what you're supposed to do. They're using the entire animal to the best that they can. That's exactly what the Native Americans did, and when you hear about the Native Americans doing it in like elementary school, it's like, oh my god, the Native Americans were such great people. When they had to kill a buffalo, they made sure to use every part of that buffalo. Farmers doing the same shit, but when they do it, they're crazy assholes. And these people are voters, so the government's got to step in to try to make everybody happy. And what the government comes up with is rather than hosting rabbit drives, they're going to have a bounty and they're going to put it out on these rabbits. Depending on which county or which part of the country you were in at this point in time, it was like 3.
When the government gets involved, things go to shit. It was working perfectly, and then the government got involved. That's very much a norm.
4 or 5 cents per rabbit that you killed, and just for the record, they are still killing the rabbits. They're not like catching them alive and turning them in. No, they're killing them and either cutting off their scalps or their ears and turning in the ears to get a nickel. To be completely intellectually honest, the government didn't invent bounty programs in the 1930s. Jackrabbit bounties existed prior to that into like the mid 1800s, and they were used at like a local level to try to control the population to prevent a boom from happening. But this is the turning point where the government tried to like shift away from rabbit drives completely because of the high visibility and people getting their feelings hurt, and wanted people to pretty much exclusively use a bounty program. Hey, remember, this is the 1930s. This is the Great Depression. People are broke. So now, not only have you incentivized just the farmers to go out and handle the issue to save their farm, you've incentivized everybody that's starving and poor, which is everybody during the Great Depression, to go out and kill these rabbits. You know what a lot of those people aren't doing? They're not using all of the rabbit to the best of its capabilities. They don't really give a shit about animals as far as doing it as quickly and effectively as possible. So now they're going out, they're shooting rabbits. Maybe the rabbits are getting away. They're not getting a good kill shot. It's not a more humane option. But they don't know that because they probably don't understand guns either. They think that if a bullet touches you, it's like magic. You're instantly and painlessly dead, which is just not how it works, because if you don't get a good kill shot, that animal could roam around for days or the rest of its life and die from infection months later. Whereas
Yeah. I will state, it depends on the round. Granted, if you're using 30-06 on a rabbit, that's just cruel. I mean, the rabbit's just like a feel thing at it, but still. If you're using 22 and you hit it wrong, that rabbit's going to run around for days, even weeks, just in pain till it finally dies. So you're not doing things right. Like, listen, I'm a big practitioner of guns. I'm a big practitioner of like protecting things and stuff like that. But you got to be accurate, or you just got to mag dump. But if you're going to hunt something, especially an animal, you should use it to the best of your ability, make it clean, and just use what you can, because it's the best thing to do. Okay.
sharp blow to the back of the head is actually much safer because there's not a bunch of people roaming around shooting fucking guns everywhere, and it's actually more humane because it just kills the animal pretty much instantly and it's painless, which is why it's still literally the preferred method of killing a rabbit in the manual on how to process a rabbit to this day. You don't believe me? Fuck it.
Anyways, back to this.
I'll pull it up. What do we got here? Oh, percussive blow to the head. Position the rabbit. Hold the rabbit by its hind legs. Use a heavy but easy to handle object. IG, a club or iron piping. Hit the rabbit on the top of the head just behind the ears. Make sure it's dead. The farmers have literally been doing this the correct, most humane way possible for over 100 years, but to these people that don't understand the issue, that operate on feelings instead of facts.
Yeah, it's really easy to not see them, especially when I'm like here. If I'm not in full screen, it's easy to just miss them. So, but yeah, no, I've always been a vampire. My main mod has been calling me a vampire since before I was V. So there's always that.
It feels more humane to have a bunch of random fucking people that are starving and poor roaming
Silas
the
is a
countryside with
husky.
guns,
I do that too.
Targets this big.
I've done that a couple times where I've called Silas a wolf. I'm like, no, wait, no, Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy he's a cute vampire.
traveling at 45 miles an hour is safer and more humane than a bunch of farmers, aka professionals, getting together, forming a phalanx, and killing the rabbits as humanely as possible. Okay, just so we're on the same page, the job was getting done for free and more effectively by the farmers, but the government wanted to make people feel better, so they stepped in with an alternative solution where it cost money, taxpayer money, and got the job done less efficiently and less humanely.
Yeah, it happens. Trust me. Happy even knows Kura did a video, his little frog legs video, and I called Happy Yazzie. And she's never left. I'm never gonna live it down. She's gonna make fun of me for the rest of our lives together. She's always gonna make fun of me for that. So don't feel bad. You listen, there's a lot of people that mess up recognizing people or recognizing what people are. It's perfectly fine. And because I look very much like an elf, I have to deal with the fact that everyone's an elf.
Fucking great job. Terrific.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
And you guys are never going to believe this.
Sorry, hold on. We gotta go back because these are the worst lines you can ever hear from the government.
From a singular county that was paying a 5-cent bounty, they had to quit paying the bounty and call it off after they had a million 5 cents. Literally runs out of money. I guys are never gonna fucking tax job. Terrific.
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Worst line you could ever hear. I am from the government. I'm here to help. No, you're not. You're here to fuck me over. I don't trust the government.
You guys are never going to believe this. It doesn't actually fucking work. Why? Because the government literally runs out of money. I found an account from a singular county that was paying a 5-cent bounty. They had to quit paying the bounty and call it off after they had a million rabbits turned in and they ran out of money. And I found multiple accounts of this all over the country. Once the governments ran out of money, the farmers were like, okay, well, the problem's not solved yet, and I'm not going to let this rabbit eat all the food so I can't feed my kids and let it kill off all my cattle. We're going to go solve the problem. And that's exactly what they did. They got the boys together, they grabbed their clubs, they set up a fence, and then they killed all the rabbits. And then the journalists started showing up, and then the animal rights activists that don't live in the area and don't
Fucking PETA. Get rid of PETA already. Fucking. They kill more than they save. That's fact, by the way. Look it up. PETA kills more animals than they do save. They're like a 93% of the rescued animals they kill off.
don't understand the problem started hearing about it, and it hurt their feelings, so they got involved. They started criticizing and causing problems for the farmers, or trying to get them to quit, and the farmers said, okay.
Wow. Yeah, I can't really say much because my father's side, he was in the Philippines at the time. My mom's side, had other issues to deal with during the Great Depression. Yeah, that was the hard part. Like, geese are weird. You can't shoot the lead geese. You have to shoot from the back front. But sometimes it doesn't work. You missed a few things, Dark. We're currently reacting to Fat Electrician about rabbits and farmers, but we did some AI videos.
Okay, fuck it.
How
Fine.
you doing?
You don't want us to kill the rabbits? We'll catch them and we'll mail them to your state and they can fuck up all your shit. And that's exactly what they did. They caught a fuck ton of rabbits and they tried to ship them to the other part of the country where jackrabbits didn't live so they could deal with the problem. But Animal Wildlife Services winded up putting a stop to it. And for the next like 50 years, this becomes the pattern, right? The jackrabbit population explodes. The farmers go out, they do what they got to do. A bunch of people that don't understand the issue, hear about the issue, get super strong feelings, get really butthurt about it. The farmers pretty much tell them to fuck off. They kill all the rabbits. Then 2 weeks later, nobody actually cares because those people didn't actually care in the first place.
How cute does an animal have to be before you care if it dies to feed you?
Which brings us to the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981. Okay, it's 1981. As far as the issue goes, basically,
Landman's so good. Or no, that wasn't Landman. That was Yosemite.
nothing has changed. The jackrabbit population booms every 10 years or so. The farmers got to go out, handle the issue to protect their crops. The only thing that has really changed is now we have television and news. Information now travels much further, much faster, and there's video footage of it. That and capitalism has raised the standard of human living so high that not only can one person make a living bitching about how other people make a living, they can actually go out and found a multi-million-dollar organization, and they can hire a bunch of other people, and they can band together and produce nothing for society, and then turn around and spend all of their life bitching about how the people that do produce shit for society are doing their job.
There's a Hassan joke here. No, I'm not gonna make it. But if you know, you know. But yeah, fuck communists.
So in Mud Lake, Idaho in 1981, when there was a jackrabbit population boom and they were eating all the farmers' crops, the farmers who were, 40, 50, 60 years old and have already done this 4, 5, 6 times over the course of their life go, it's time to do the thing again, that thing that I've done my entire life and my dad did his entire life and my granddad did his entire life. Call up the boys, bring out the baseball bats and the fence. We got to get rid of these rabbits. So they put out the call in the newspapers. Hey, if you want to help get rid of all these rabbits and save our farms, show up at Cletus's farm on Saturday at, whatever time. But remember, news now travels faster and further, so people from out of the community are hearing about this. You've got people coming from hours away, from cities, to come out and help with this rabbit drive and kill these rabbits, and some people are just showing up to watch. Okay, and I know what some people are thinking. Why on earth would you do that? Who would want to go watch farmers?
I would. Listen, I love animals. I really do. But when an animal is threatening my way of life, stay in. And I'm going to say this unhappy if it comes down to we're living where I live. If we go hiking and everything, I always carry a gun. The main reason is because we do have mountain lions, and we do have a law to state that if a mountain lion is in the area and approaches to attack, especially fits, we have the right to shoot it. And we have the right to use it how we want. And mountain lion is actually is like deer. It's very lean. Apparently very good. I have never had it, but apparently it's really good. So, yeah, like if it looks like it could attack or is approaching to attack, yeah, taking shots. Sorry, just how it is. Oh yeah, boar hunting in like certain states because boars are invasive species. A lot of people who shoot those, they take down the boars. They take them to processing plants to get them processed because it's still good meat, Deadwing dork. I have not. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check out Deadwing dork. I have not. Oh no, there's plenty of processing places for that meat, so we'll have the correct one. Oh, pulled pork is boar is yeah. I'm not surprised about that, Penny. They get offended really easily. Those type of people get offended very easily.
Kill a bunch of innocent little bunny rabbits. Pretty much everybody, man. This is the 1980s, okay? They didn't grow up with the internet. They didn't have YouTube. They've got TV, and it only has like 10 channels. These people didn't grow up watching Live Leak. So when they hear that a bunch of farmers are grabbing baseball
Fucking Live Leak was a mood back in the day.
bats and having a Battle of Thermopylae reenactment against some jackrabbits, fuck yeah, they want to go watch. So that's what happens. The farmers put out the call and hundreds of people show up. They got like 400 or 500 people showing up with golf clubs and baseball bats to actually help them. And then they've got hundreds of people standing off to the sidelines just being spectators. People are
Sit there and go, hey, you kids want to go watch some jackrabbits get murked? Yeah, let's go. Okay. Put out the cloth, put out the picnic basket, get some sandwiches, and just watch the show.
bringing their kids. They're having fucking barbecues and picnics off to the side. It becomes an event. Then
I was going to say, yeah, Penny, that's very true. 3 or 4 channels. I would state even into like the early 90s, because I don't think I had. No, I would have 5 channels. I had 5 channels growing up. Granted, most of the time I spent on channel 3 because I was playing on my Nintendo. Hey, Blue Jay, it's going very well. Golfing for fur, exactly.
the animal rights groups hear about it and they show up.
Wait.
Nope.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
In addition to the people that just want to spectate and the people that want to help out, other people from all over the country hear about this. There's a mink farmer in Iowa that gets a hold of these farmers and is like, hey, I'll buy the carcasses for 15 cents a carcass and I'll feed them to my minks. There's also a couple of Nigerian businessmen that get a hold of the farmers and they're like, hey, we'll pay you, you know, like 15 cents per rabbit and then you can process the meat and we'll refrigerate it and ship it back home to Nigeria to feed people. To which the farmers are like, cool, and then we're gonna take all the money we make from killing these rabbits, which is something we already have to do, and then we're gonna give it back to our community to fund our community projects. They're literally making the best out of a bad situation. And just to be clear, it's not like they get together one time and kill off hundreds of thousands of rabbits. This is like a process that takes a little bit of time, so it takes place multiple events over the course of weeks or months. Well, after the first event, all these animal rights groups leap into action and basically launch a massive PR campaign trying to paint the farmers as these genocidal maniacs.
Remember, if you don't hate PETA, if you hate PETA, you don't hate PETA enough. Yeah, by the time I was watching TV, we also had Fox, Penny, so I had at least 4. You like PETA? I think we're thinking the different PETAs, Dark.
They immediately rebrand what has been known as a rabbit drive for hundreds of years as the Great Idaho Bunny Bash. They intentionally choose the word bunny because it's the cutest, nicest, most sensitive word that you...
Listen, I don't care what you say. Rabbits are fucking vicious. People think dogs and cats are cute and everything, and they attack you. Okay? That's how they are. Bunnies are more vicious than cats and dogs. Like, bunnies will straight up bite you and attack you because they're in a bad mood. Bunnies are fucking vicious. I've had I have been scratched by my cat that I have currently a few times. I guarantee you, if I had a bunny and a cat, the bunny would have attacked me more than the cat did. I guarantee you with that. And half the time my cat attacked me, probably because I was playing with him and did something that aggravated him and he attacked me. Bunnies will attack you because they can. Okay? And hamsters are hamsters are a different story. A very fun time. Oh god. Yeah, PETA's weird. I'm not gonna lie, PETA's always been weird.
Could possibly apply to a jackrabbit, and even then, the word bunny doesn't really fit to jackrabbit. They then file an injunction against the farmers, trying to prevent them from killing the rabbits. They go to court. The local judge is basically like, I mean, these rabbits have to go. Like, it has to happen. What do you want them to do about it? And eventually the animal rights group was like, well, fine, but we need to find a more humane way to kill the rabbits. And the court and the farmers both are like, okay, yeah, game. I don't want the rabbits to suffer. I don't enjoy this. I just need them dead so they don't eat my crops. If you have a more humane way of doing this, I'm all ears. What ideas do you got? And if you don't believe me, I actually have some quotes. This is from a farmer by the name of Orville Twitchell. He's one of the guys that's kind of spearheading these rabbit drives. And fair warning, he actually literally looks like Elmer Fudd, so I don't think that's helping him very much.
Oh my God, he really does. Hold on. Get on the right side. Yeah. Right. He really does. He's got that. He's got the nose. He's got the ears. Yeah, he definitely looks like Elmer.
Much. But looks aside, he really is just a farmer trying to save his crops that wants to kill these rabbits as humanely as possible. I actually found some quotes from him where he said, and I quote, "I can still hear the squeals, but I had to get over the feeling because we did what we had to do. You're swinging a club dressed in layers in below freezing temperatures, and it didn't end until they were all dead, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes to dispatch an entire pen. No question, it was physically exhausting. Was it gruesome? Yes. Was it necessary? Yes." So the farmers genuinely are open to any ideas of how to do this more humanely and more effectively. The animal rights groups then immediately recommend poisoning them with strychnine.
What?
To which the farmers are
The farmers are using these completely. To poisoning them with a poison that will stay within the blood system even after it's dead, which means if you eat it or feed it to someone else, they will, or other creatures, they will get poisoned by that same thing, which is extremely deadly to humans. Mental damage. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. They were. Penny. 100%. A lot of the Looney Tunes characters were based off of that. Like they were very stereotypical of things.
like, fucking no, that's a horrible idea for multiple reasons. One, if I'm putting poison out in the wilderness, I have no idea what's gonna eat it, but I do know it's not just gonna be jackrabbits. My dogs, my cattle, my horses, coyotes, literally any other animal can walk up and eat this poison, and I'm not trying to kill them. Secondly, if I poison them, I can't sell them for starving kids in Africa to eat or these minks up in Iowa, so the carcasses are going to waste. That's not good. And thirdly, strychnine is definitely not more humane than a sharp blow to the back of the head. When you poison an animal with strychnine, first it gets muscle aches, and then it starts having seizures that are induced by light, motion, and sound, and it basically dies of exhaustion from having too many seizures over the course of hours or days. That's definitely not more humane than me walking up and bonking a rabbit on the head. That's fucked up. We're not doing that. In a shocking turn of events, it's actually the farmers in court fighting on behalf of what's best for the rabbit.
That's why the PETA OGs start.
And not the animal rights groups. It's almost like they don't actually care and they're just virtue signaling to feel good. The animal rights groups, realizing that they just got made to look like assholes, come back with a backup idea. They come into court and they're like, hear me out, gas chambers. I'm not kidding.
Like, again, I'm going to go back to my buddy Z, who literally watched them gas chamber a whole cavalcade of chickens. Like, it wasn't pretty. He's like, it was disgusting, and I can't eat chicken because it was a scene. Because he had to watch them all die. And they didn't die quickly. The boss is that.
It's the Jews. Yes, like the Jews. Oh.
To which the farmers are like, rabbit
God, I
concentration
gotta
camps.
watch
You want to
that. We
recreate
gotta watch that
rabbit
video.
Auschwitz. That's what you guys want. You know what? Fuck it. Fine. We'll give it a shot. So at their next rabbit drive, rather than putting up a fence and a pin and driving the rabbits into the fence and then clubbing them, they dug a giant fucking hole and drove the rabbits into the hole, threw a tent over the top, and filled it with carbon monoxide. It didn't really work. It didn't kill all the rabbits. The rabbits that did die actually died from being crushed by the weight of all the other rabbits on top of them, and it was just way less humane, so they abandoned that idea. This is now garnering national attention. Everybody's watching, so the governor gets involved, and the governor and the farmers go to the head veterinarian of Idaho and ask him, what is the most humane way to get rid of these rabbits? And the head veterinarian says, a sharp blow to the back of the head, just like the fucking textbook says.
Thank you.
So that's it. Case closed. The local judge rules in favor of the farmers. They go back to hosting their rabbit drives, or as the newspapers claimed, make...
They're not bunnies, though. They are jackrabbits. They do eat. They're fucking a pain in the ass. Period. Is right. They can be cute, but they're a pain in the ass. Also, sup, Jaded?
the fur fly again. At which
No, he's not. I forgot what he's based off of. He's not based off of a rabbit specifically.
point, the animal rights activists learn something, they realize their mistake, and they move on with their lives. No, I'm just kidding. They actually go on a massive PR campaign to slander these farmers. The farmers wind up getting thousands of hate mail letters and protesters showing up, and the animal rights groups actually had people dress up as people that were going to help with the rabbit drives and go into the pens and try to fuck with them. They then proceeded to go to the media and paint the entire affair as horrifically as humanly possible. According to intel from their spies, people were playing bunny baseball and there were little kids inside the pens killing rabbits. First of all, yeah.
Listen, if a bunny jumps up, I'm gonna swing. Might not be humane, but it's gonna be fucking hilarious. I'm just saying.
Kids are involved. I know that's shocking to some people, but farm kids do farm shit, and this is farm shit. It's a way of life for these people. That's not a big deal. Secondly, trying to tell the entire country that they're playing bunny baseball, like they're turning it into
Dark, all I can think of is saying there is, brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. Hey, at least the meat's cooked. Got jerky. I'm going to hell.
some sick game is fucking disgusting, okay? If they had hundreds of volunteers showing up that weren't farmers, is there a possibility that one asshole grabbed a rabbit, tossed it in the air and said, hey, Jimmy, catch, and Jimmy fucking Babe Ruth that motherfucker? Yeah, absolutely. That probably happened. But calling that bunny baseball like it's an organized sporting event, like they're literally got the bases set up and they're fucking underhanding jackrabbits to a 12-year-old, and if he strikes out 3 times, they strap it to a tee and let him fucking clock it so he can run the bases and turn it into a game, absolutely didn't happen. But
okay. But if it did happen, I would laugh hysterically. Okay. The flamethrower. Yes. Again. Get the flamer. The heavy flamer. We're going to burn these jackrabbits.
That's just me operating off of common sense and growing up around farmers my entire life and knowing that these people, A, wouldn't do that, and B, wouldn't allow it to happen in their proximity. That's not enough. I need actual evidence. So I went back and I scoured through newspapers at the time, and guess what I found out? After the animal rights groups started showing up in mass as protesters, you know who else showed up? The sheriff's department. And you want to know what the sheriff's department did? They, A, kept the peace, but before every rabbit drive, they told the crowd of volunteers, we're watching, and if we see any of you doing anything cruel to these animals, we will charge you with a misdemeanor for animal cruelty. Guess how many citations got issued? Fucking 0. The entire thing is just a massive propaganda campaign to paint these farmers like they're psychotic assholes when they're the exact opposite. And unfortunately, it's pretty effective, at least in the court of public opinion, and the farmers didn't really do themselves any favors because they don't have any PR training.
That's very
They're 40,
true.
50, 60-year-old farmers out in Idaho. They've got journalists and cameras in their face, and when they're asked a question, they say the truth and they say how they feel. Orville Twitchell, the guy from court that's like spearheading this entire thing, when he got interviewed by the journalists and they're like, how can you have kids out here doing this, blah, 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 them not understanding, like, farm kids do farm stuff. They help me on the farm. This is their job too. They're gonna have to do this when they get older. It's been a way of life for generations. They don't get that. So Orville Twitchell just said the truth. He said, and I quote, I and 3/4 of the rest of the people in the West.
Farm kids, you don't fuck with farm kids. especially when they get older and they've been doing farm stuff, because they go into the military and they are the scariest motherfuckers on this planet. Also, how's it going, people?
Would rather see kids in that sagebrush, even if they are beating
get some rest.
jackrabbits, than have them sitting in front of the boob tube watching sex movies or in Idaho Falls drinking beer and smoking pot.
Amen. 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 Amen.
So they're kind of inadvertently playing into the stereotypes, which allows these people to spin the entire thing and basically rewrite history. Like, looking through all this, I was finding academic papers about the history of rabbit drives and how fucked up they were. And just, the academic papers are insane. You know what? I'm actually going to read you part of the abstract from one of these academic papers so you can see how fucking stupid these people are. Quote, Great Plains responded to eternal threats from the environment by reasserting
There's a whole bunch. Sorry, between 1880 and 1930, millions of rabbits were slaughtered across the American West in mass spectacles of pest control called rabbit drives. Drives sought to respond to the threat posed by rapid growth, growing rabbit populations at the time, emerging from changing ecosystems induced by colonization. Fucking already hate this. I'm like going insane from this. And the industrialization of agriculture in the West. Rabbits were driven into corrals and then beaten to death by men and boys while hundreds, if not thousands, watched. By focusing the rural and predominantly working class white men, it wasn't written recently. This article writes the first history of the rabbit drive and does through examination of how masculinity dictated the form of this ritual of communal animal killing. Oh my God, this is written by a feminist. Sorry. Nascent agriculture towns in California and embedded rural communities in the Great Plains respond to the external threats from the environment by reasserting masculine domination of nature. In the contrast of wealthy big game hunters who primarily used writing to project their method, it was the photographs that, oh my God. I can't. This is driving me literally insane.
Masculine domination of nature, in contrast to wealthy big game hunters who primarily used their writing to project their manhood. It was through photographs that drives were practiced, shared, and understood. The camera served to eternally fix the male participants as victors in a staged battle between man and beast.
But wait! There's more.
Indeed, we cannot understand the rabbit drive without understanding its visuality, seeing it as a self-constructed act of masculine theater that was always intended to be observed. In doing so, the rabbit drive shows how seeming crises in the environment have been creatively repositioned as opportunities to in fact protect, reinforce, and exalt masculine control over nature and society.
It was literally written by a feminist. It was written by a feminist. That's all it was. It was written by a feminist who didn't understand what the fuck they were doing. It was a fucking feminist who fucking wrote this. That's all it was. It doesn't have to be a woman. It's just a feminist. Feminist who doesn't understand the fuck they were doing. Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, dickhead, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. Back in the 1800s when farmers were having their entire livelihoods fucking destroyed, so they got together and said, guys, what are we gonna do about this? And one of them said, I think we have to kill all these rabbits. I guarantee you another farmer said, oh my God, Cletus, what a great idea. And we should take pictures and tell everybody about it. That way we can reassert our masculine domination over society and our wives remember who the fucking bosses are. Because apparently there's nothing more manly than killing a fucking rabbit.
It's false. No way.
Yeah, sorry. If you're sitting there being like, I'm masculine because I killed a rabbit. Yeah, fuck you. No. You did it because you had to. Now, you know what's masculine? Saying you going out for a stroll, going out for a hike, doing something You forgot your gun because you're like, I don't need it today. Got my knife, but it's just for whatever. And mountain lion attacks, or a mountain creature attacks you, and you take it down with a knife, protecting your family. That's masculine. That's the masculine thing, especially like mountain lion. You sit there and you're fucking wrestling it, and you stab it a few times. You got cut. But you're like, I won. We had to go to the hospital, but you know what? That thing's dead. Yeah, that's masculine. That's masculine. Take down a lion with your bare hands. That's masculine. You take down a bear with a knife. That's masculine. Take down a bunch of rabbits. That's just doing what you need to do to protect your crops. I'm just saying.
Not this time. No.
If there's one thing that I've learned about farmers growing up around in my entire life is that they're super
What?
concerned with like big abstract societal ideas. They're definitely not just normal people that are trying to get by and raise kids and have a family and go to church and be a productive member of society and feed the world. That's definitely not what they're up to. They're secretly getting together and plotting, having maniacal plans on how they can exercise their toxic masculine domination over society via killing bunny rabbits. That's exactly what the farmers are fucking up to. And you morons wonder why people are losing respect for academia when you publish stupid bullshit like this. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked and pissed off. Anyways, the Idaho farmers now have the green light from the local court to continue doing.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, those are the same people. Same people that bitch about that are the same people that think of, it'd be so sexy if someone just broke into my house and just had their way with me. That's called rape.
Doing what they're doing, so that's exactly what they do. They keep hosting rabbit drives, they keep killing the rabbits, they keep saving their farms. Meanwhile, the animal rights groups continue to harass them and fuck with them and slander them all over the media, and then they take them to court again on an appeal, and they appeal them all the way up to the Supreme Court of Idaho. In the Supreme
Okay, 1 second. I gotta use the bathroom. I've been holding it the last like 15 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I really need to go. Yeah, most mountain lions will leave you alone, but every once in a while, we've had a lot in my state that will attack people because they just feel super threatened. Like it's a weird like thing for our state. because of the traffic it gets. We actually have a lot more mountain lion attacks because of people just thinking, oh, well, it's scared of me. And then they back into a corner and it attacks them. So, like, we normally don't have to, but it is a rare occasion because that mountain lion's tastes of human, because that human didn't fight back or anything, and then they straight up attack people on trails. So it is a normal thing. It is a thing that we have to do because people are stupid and don't realize, yes, it is a cat. It is a very large cat. It does not want to be petted. Leave it the fuck alone. Yeah, cats chase. They run from it, or they try and like approach it and get into a corner and it attacks them. They do stupid things, and people don't realize that. Speaking of cats, hi Creamsicle. Yeah.
Court case, it comes out that they were having spies infiltrate as volunteers, gathering intel, and then they used all this supposed intel to basically slander the farmers and paint the whole thing as some barbaric event. They're telling the judge, like, they're playing bunny baseball and they're having children do this, blah, 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 blah. To which the Supreme Court is like, are you guys playing bunny baseball? And the farmers are like, no. Okay, well, don't. And they're like, cool, okay. Are you having kids do this? To which the farmers were like, I mean, I'm not checking driver's licenses for ages. If some farmer or volunteer wants to bring their child out here to do this, they're more than welcome to do it. I'm not going to stop them. And the judge is like, okay, well, let's just call it 12 years old. You got to be 12 to participate. And the farmers are like, you got it. That's fine. From here, farmers win. They get the green light to continue. They continue the rabbit drives until they've solved the problem, and then the issue disappears into history. And I know what you're thinking. 1981 was like 40 some odd years ago. How come there hasn't been
Nick, why do you have to bring up the fact that it was over 40 years ago? Why do you have to make me feel fucking old? Sorry.
Another major jackrabbit population boom? In addition to that, DNR and wildlife services are much more advanced in understanding about how ecosystems work, and they regulate the killing of predators of jackrabbits much more strictly, and all of this comes to allow a more natural control of the jackrabbit population. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that a jackrabbit population boom will never happen again. And if it does, I'm absolutely positive the farmers will do whatever has to get done, and I'm also, unfortunately, absolutely positive that the animal rights groups and the academics will be right there talking shit and rewriting history the entire time. And that is the story of the Great Idaho Bunny Bash of 1981, aka a rabbit drive, something that had been happening on this continent for thousands of years, literally predating written history, that animal rights groups and academics then utilized to slander hardworking farmers that were doing nothing more than simply trying to get by. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. Links to both of those over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang
out. I do love that Nick posted up the listen, I love Echelon. I do actually subscribe to Echelon, so I get Echelon every month. I get 24 cans every month. I missed the Goth Girl Spit, which is White Monster. That's all it is. I love that he promoted that one, even though you can't get it, which sucks because I actually like White Monster. White Monster's really good.
I'm gonna be honest, this entire video started just because I saw a meme about the Bunny Bash of 1981 in Idaho, and I thought it was interesting or funny or crazy that farmers were going out and beating up rabbits with baseball bats. And then the more I looked into it, I realized that it was just a giant hit piece on farmers that were literally just trying to survive, and it pissed me off.
That's how Nick goes. Nick's so great about that. Nick, if he gets something that pisses him off, he's like, no. We're going with this. Fuck you all. There's rabbits versus farmers, everyone.